is culture shock? What comes into your mind when I use the word culture shock? Do you see somebody with confused look, or do you see somebody who is lost in the street? Well, culture shock is what I'm going to define is different. And each culture is different, so I'm going to start with the definition of culture shock. Culture shock is a condition of disorientation which someone who enters into a new culture, which is not familiar with their own culture. As we all know that America is a nation of immigrants, most of the people coming from different parts of the world goes through culture shock. And I want to start with stages of culture shock. There are 3 stages of culture shock. Stage number 1 is wonder. Wonder is often a positive one, and it's most about curiosity. And when you go through the first stage of wonder, you will experience a lot of excitement. You are excited to know what's new in this culture, and you want to know more about the culture. So you try to explore yourself to different places. And this stage might last for a few months or few years. It depends on the individual, how they are brought up, and it all depends on that individual cases. Then, after being in a wonder stage for a while, then the person goes to the next stage, which is frustration. Frustration of not knowing what the rules of the new culture is, and frustration about not knowing the names of a street, or getting lost, or not knowing your neighbor, or a lot of things happens. So after being in frustration can lead to depression. That's why there are a lot of people who come from different countries who feel depression, or feeling left out, or not fitting into the group, and plus a language barrier. So people go through a lot of those shock. And the last stage comes to acceptance. Then after being here for a few years, few months, then the person goes into the acceptance. Okay, I'm kind of learning to the person will feel, okay, I'm getting used, adapting myself to a new culture, and knowing the rules after being here for a few months or years. And those are the 3 stages of culture shock. And I would like to share some of my own experience. When I came to this America 11 years ago, and I came right out of high school, and the place where I was born and brought up is India, and we were taught to learn and read, write, and learn, but I wasn't, in my school we weren't speaking in much English. Most we communicate in Hindi or Tibetan. So I was going through some kind of challenges, and I will give one of the examples. Well, okay, I was on my second job, and I was in the country for only 4 months, and I had to go to staffing asking for a schedule. And I asked the staffer, I went to his office and asked him, okay, can you give me my schedule? He says, what's that? I said, can you give me a schedule? I was like, what's that? He had that confused look. Then I was more nervous. There were a lot of people around. So I told him, can you give me my work schedule? So I was kind of frustrated too. And he's like, I don't understand what you're saying. Okay. Then I said, okay, I'll write it down. So I wrote down the spelling S-H-E-D-U-L-E, S-C-H-E-D. Then he's like, oh, schedule. I said, okay, it took you that long to understand this simple word. That was kind of frustrating, and I was like, I really wanted to bang the table. No, I wasn't. But it was frustrating, and now I laugh at it, but at the time it was really frustrating. And then after being in America for that many years, still, I go through a lot of small frustration. But I just want to share this story it really happened to one of my friends, and she was in the country for almost a year, but she had the hesitation of not knowing what to order. So she went to the subway with one of her American friends, and she went to the kitchen and asked for a order. In the kitchen asked, what do you like me to make? She's like, actually, I want a little bit of everything. And she got the Subway sandwich with a little bit of everything, and later when she was eating, she found out something that she was allergic to. But she still kept eating because she doesn't want to humiliate herself in front of her friends. So she kept eating, and then at the end, she suffered from the allergy for 2 days. So those are the cultures. Those are the few examples of culture shock. And also, for me, the food, the language was my biggest challenging, and also the food, not knowing the names of the food. And I still struggle with the name of the food, but it was a struggle for me. And also the values was different, what I was brought up. Like here, when I was going to college, calling teacher sir or madam, they kind of get offended. So we were taught that you have to respect your teachers, so you have to call them sir or madam. Once I was told that you're not supposed to, just don't call me sir or madam, just call me with my first name. One of my instructor told me, so okay, I respect that. But the reason I share you this story is that I talk about culture shock is that every culture is different, and exploring to a new culture is a very important and great learning experience. And you learn to respect your own culture as well as other culture. And I know someday you might travel to the world and you might go through this culture shock. Just be aware of it and just be adaptable to the culture. You'll get adjusted to it. So I just thought that I would share this, my personal story with you. Thank you, America.